Good day, everyone! Today, I'll be sharing my quasi-experimental research or my action research titled Vlogging Strategy in Improving Students Speaking Competence. The first thing that I did was to write the rationale or the introduction. In writing your rationale, you have to identify the gap first, or you have to identify the problem. Why is it necessary to work on this action research? So in my case, it's necessary to work on this action research because I'm an oral communication teacher and I have students in my class who are really poor in terms of their oral communication skills. So I would like to try an intervention program which is vlogging to see to it if it's really effective in terms of improving student speaking competence. I started writing my rationale or introduction by citing the history of senior high school curriculum. So in 2016, we adopted the new K-12 curriculum where we added additional 2 years in high school education. The senior high school education was established to help our learners gain essential skills that will prepare them to the various work opportunities they will have in the future. So in these additional 2 years, they will be learning fundamental subjects. One of the core subjects they will be learning in this HSS curriculum is oral communication. Oral communication is designed to help students develop their listening and speaking skills. Aside from it, they will be exposed to different communicative strategies that will help them become effective or better speakers. Also, one of the activities designed in this curriculum is the enhancement of senior high school students' speaking competence. However, in one of the articles recorded by the Manila Times, it was reported that the Philippine English proficiency declined from being 14th place in the year 2018 to 20th place in the 2019 English Proficiency Index, which only goes to show that Filipinos' English proficiency sharply declines. And this predicament can be blamed to our Philippine education system. If the slide in ranking continues, this will pose a negative consequences to the Philippine economy since we all know that we bring ESL teachers, English teachers to other nations, and at the same time, we have a lot of BPO agents here in our country. If we are no longer producing quality graduates who can really speak English well, what will happen to the Philippine economy? This is the reason why I, as a researcher and as a teacher, would like to check if this intervention program, specifically vlogging strategy, will help my students improve their speaking competence. Their speaking performance will be evaluated through a standardized rubric. So after you write everything in the introduction part, it's time for you to move to the second part, which is the intervention. So you have to put every studies or literature that will back up your claim that your intervention program or that your vlogging strategy could really help in improving student speaking competence. In my case, I read a lot of literature, and one of the studies that I read, particularly the study of Lau et al., it was reported in his study that students who used vlogging as an intervention program gained better results in terms of their grammar, speed and elocution, and nonverbal communication compared to students who did not use vlogging as an intervention program. Aside from it, the study also revealed that students gain better results in their English presentations when teachers use or employ vlogging as a classroom strategy. Moreover, in the study of Moon, year 2016, Moon evaluated the effectiveness of vlogging to Korean learners who are studying English. And the study showed positive results in terms of their grammar, speaking, and listening skills, and at the same time their self-confidence. What are the other benefits of vlogging? Well, the benefits of vlogging is that it will allow someone to check his or herself in front of the camera and identify his or her mistakes, because over time you could really practice using the English language and identify in what certain aspect would you need to improve on. After identifying the different literature and studies that could help me back up my claim that vlogging is really a good intervention in helping students improve their speaking competence, the next thing that I did was write the research questions. And here are my research questions. The general objective of this study was to identify the effectiveness of vlogging as an intervention program in improving student speaking competence. Specifically, it also seeks to answer the following questions. First, what is the level of student speaking competence before the intervention? Second, what is the level of student speaking competence right after the intervention? And third, is there a significant difference in the level of student speaking competence before and after the intervention? These were the steps that I took in order to come up with the results. First, I identify the learners who really need this intervention program, since my research design is a quasi-experimental research, meaning I will not take the whole class. I will only choose, or I will only select students from my class who really need the intervention program. And from that process, I identified 7 selected participants. I went up to these 7 identified students and asked for their consent. When they said yes and they had given me their approval, I oriented them about the nature and the purpose of the study. After that, I then conducted the pre-test. The first speaking activity was done without the administration of the intervention program, which is the vlog. I asked one of my co-teachers, who is also an English teacher, to rate the speaking performance of my students to avoid biases. The pre-test was conducted and the teacher rated them based on the 4 categories. First, we have the grammar, then pronunciation, fluency, and then vocabulary. After the conduct of the pre-test was the conduct of the post-test. This time, with the second speaking activity, I already employed vlogging as an intervention strategy. After everything was done, I computed the general scores of the students from the pre-test activity and the post-test activity. After getting all the quantitative data, I went to my 7 identified students again and asked for the qualitative data by giving interviews. I asked them what are the responses, what do they think about vlogging as an intervention program, if it's okay or if it's not with them. Next thing that I did right after the data methodology was to consider all the results. The 7 identified learners obtained a general score of 12.43 in their speaking competence during the conduct of the pre-test, which means that these learners were already competent in terms of their speaking competence. Then right after that, I obtained the general score of the learners during the use of the intervention program, which was vlogging. After the implementation program, the post-test scores were obtained and the 7 identified learners gained an average of 14.71, which showed that there was an increase in their performance scores. So the next thing that I did was to check if there was a significant difference in their post-test score and in their pre-test score. Used Wilcoxon method, and the p-value was 0.026, which showed that there was really a significant difference. This means that vlogging as an intervention strategy is deemed effective in improving student speaking competence. Since the quantitative data showed positive results, I interviewed all the identified participants and all of them shared the positive impact of vlogging in their communicative competence. In fact, in one of the interviews, one of the participants said that she could now rate herself as 8 over 10 in terms of her speaking competence because she gained a lot of knowledge while vlogging, but the only problem that she has now is her voice, so she really needs to improve her voice quality. Another participant from this research also shared that before she would rate herself as 4 over 10 in terms of her speaking competence, but now she could completely say that she would fall under 8 over 10 in terms of her speaking competence because she improved her confidence right after employing vlog as an intervention program. And these were the results of my quasi-experimental research. I hope you have gained something out from this presentation. Thank you, everyone.